Okay, this video is for helping you with the DMR, the two skills that we're going to have for the next 2 weeks. And for DMR Quiz C, we'll be finding the LCD, which stands for least common denominator, and then making equivalent fractions. And then the second skill will be practicing that distributive property that we focused on in the last unit. So this is DMR number 1, and question number 1 and number 2 say find the LCD, then make equivalent fractions. So the least common denominator could also be called the least common multiple. So the denominator is the bottom number in your fraction. So we're looking at the 2 and the 5, and we're thinking about what multiple of 2 and 5 do they have in common and is the smallest. So you could start out by writing the multiples of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Obviously you could go on forever, right? And then you would write the multiples of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Again, you could keep going on forever. So you're looking for a multiple that they both have, and that would be the smallest, and that would be the 10. Now some of you may have come up with that on your own without listing out the multiples, but if you can't come up with it on your own, or you're not sure it's the correct least common multiple, then making a list is a good idea. So the LCD is 10. Now the second part of this problem is finding equivalent fractions. So now that we know that our new denominator is going to be a 10, I'm going to write fractions that are equal to 1/2 and 3/5 that have a denominator of 10. If I'm changing the bottom number, I also have to change the top number. So if the 2 is changing to a 10, I ask myself, 2 times what is 10? 2 times 5 is 10. So if I'm multiplying the bottom by 5, I'm going to multiply my top number by 5 as well. So 1 times 5 is 5. So 5/10. Down here, we're going to do 5 times 2 is 10. So I have to do 3 times 2, which is 6. So 5/10, 6/10, there I have equivalent fractions that have the same denominator. So same process over there for question number 2. I'm finding the LCD of 4 and 3. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. My multiples of 3, 6, 9, 12. And I want to be kind of thinking about these multiples that I've already listed for 4 as I'm writing these, and I see, oh, 12. So I can stop right there. I don't need to continue. So my LCD is 12. That means each of my denominators down here are going to be 12. 4 times what is 12? 4 times 3 is 12. So I have to do 3 times 3, which is 9. And then 4 times what is 12? 3 times what is 12? 3 times 4 is 12. So 2 times 4 is 8. And there we have 9/12 and 8/12, equivalent fractions that have the same denominator. Our second skill is going to be the distributive property. Remember that when you are distributing, that you take the number that is on the outside of the parentheses and you have to multiply both of the numbers inside the parentheses by it. So we're going to do 3 times 2r, which is 6r, and we're going to do 3 times 6, which is 18, and then we can just bring this negative sign, this minus sign, straight down into our answer, and then that is it. Stop there. Remember, you do not actually subtract here because these are not like terms. In order for them to be like terms, since this has an R, that 18 would also have to have an R. And if they both had an R, then you could subtract them. Or if neither one of them had an R, you could subtract them. But because this one has an R and that one does not, you can't do anything with it. All right, same process over there for number 4. I'm going to do 2 times 8m, which is 16m. And I'm going to do 2 times 5, which is 10. And then I can just bring this plus sign straight down into my answer, and again, stop there. Do not actually add up those two terms because they are not like terms. All right, that's it for today.